This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hi, I'm Cindy Harris, and in this episode, I'm going to share with you my carrot muffins. Now, one of the things I love about these muffins, they're really easy to put together and really quick if you use grated carrots from the supermarket, but they're super moist, super delicious, and chock full of carrots and walnuts. And one of the things I love about these muffins is everything is mixed together in one bowl. So I'm going to start by measuring out a cup of regular flour, then 3/4 of a cup of sugar, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half a teaspoon of salt, and 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon. I'm going to mix this together with my spatula, making sure that all that cinnamon and that sugar gets mixed in with the flour and the baking soda. Now for our carrots. Now you want to have grated carrots for muffins, and what I've done is at the store today I just bought a package of grated carrot. Now if you wanted to grate your own carrots, you absolutely could. I find using these ones at the store really easy. The only thing I don't like about them is they're really long. So I'm going to go ahead and chop these up just a little bit finer. Now I'm going to end up wanting 2 cups of carrots. So I'm going to take a few handfuls out of the package. And then I'm just going to take my knife and just run it through just a little bit, just to break them up into smaller pieces like this. And that ends up being about 2 cups, which is just what I need. So I'm going to put my carrots in with my flour, give that a little toss just to coat them. Now I really like walnuts in my carrot muffins, so I've got some chopped walnuts, and as I've mentioned before, I always keep the nuts that I use for baking and cooking in the freezer. That way they're always fresh. So I'm going to measure out 1/2 cup of chopped walnuts and add that to my bowl. I'm going to toss those walnuts in, and then it's time to add our wet ingredients. So to start with, I have 2 eggs and 1/2 cup of canola oil. And now we just mix this all together, making sure the egg is totally broken up and that we see no dry ingredients. Now you can see that this is a really sturdy batter, very thick. And so it's super important that we get those dry ingredients totally mixed in. They'll look kind of white in the compared to the dark color that's in the cinnamon. So make sure you really work it well. This is not a delicate batter by any means. Now I'm going to get my 12-cup muffin pan lined with some paper liners. It's almost Easter here, and I found these really cute little Easter bunny muffin liners, so I'm going to use those today. Speaking of holidays, you know, muffins are a great little gift to give people, like for Easter. If you have people over, you can make them ahead of time like I'm doing, and then once they're cooled, you can wrap them individually in plastic wrap and put them in the freezer. And then the night before, you can take 4 of them out, put them in a little box and give them as a gift to people. People love homemade muffins for breakfast. While I'm filling the muffin tins, I want to just mention an email that I got this weekend from Diane, and she was actually writing about a recipe she was making from the cupcake show, but it applies to here too, so this is why I want to bring it up. she was making cupcakes, and I got 12 out of it, and she only got 9, and she wondered, what was the difference. And one of the things that's really important whenever you're doing something like cupcakes or muffins is you always want to start by putting a little bit of batter in every single well. So if you wanted just 9 cupcakes, then start with just filling 9 wells. I always go for the full dozen. Then, once I get some in every well, then I go back and divide the rest of the batter up. It's just really hard when you first are starting to fill the muffin wells to figure out how much batter you need for each one. And so that's why I always encourage people, first go through, put some batter in every well, and then go back and divide the rest of it up. Now I've preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and that's another really important step. When you go to put your muffins in the oven already needs to be hot. So mine is, and I'm going to bake these for about 18 minutes. Now it's been 18 minutes, and I'm going to test my muffins with a toothpick. Now I'm still getting, if you can see right here, just a little bit of batter on the toothpick. So that means I'm going to put these back in for about another 2 to 3 minutes. And I'm going to try the toothpick technique again, and that comes out perfectly clear. One of the things that's important is you don't want to over bake the muffins because they'll get dry. So I'm going to let these sit in the pan for about 5 minutes. Now it's time to get our muffins to cool a little bit more on the cooling rack. So I just take a fork and lift them right out like this. Now if you come across a muffin that has kind of welded itself to the side of the pan a little bit, just use a paring knife, run it right along the edge, and then you'll be able to pop it out nice and easy. Well, if you'd like to try these carrot muffins at home, just go to our website and visit the Nothin But Muffins show notes, and I'll have the recipe there for you. And as always, if you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll see you next time.